to Magic with Melly, a channeled message on Melly Mondays. Check out the thumbnail card. It is the Queen of Cups from the Cat Tarot. Lovely black cat, commonly very misunderstood in the witchy community here. Lots of people associate black cats with bad news or danger or bad luck, but actually they are a symbol of protection from those things. So when you see one, it's maybe premonitious, or maybe a lot of us are in this energy, embodying energy of feeling misunderstood. There's that. Okay, from the Cat Tarot, and then also these came out from the Cat Tarot before coming on live. So we have Ace of Wands and Judgment. So I really, just all together with the cards I've already shuffled out with this Queen of Cups, Ace of Wands, Judgment, just the essence that we know what we are pursuing at this point. We are aware of what type of things we are pursuing, and what very specifically what it looks like will be different for everybody. It will also, you know, appear differently or and not as expected. But here on the big tarot I want to show you guys is the Four of Cups. Okay, you see that. Okay, but there's some more cards behind it, as you can see. And so we have the Four of Cups. I'm going to show you the Fool, the Seven of Cups, Justice, and the Three of Swords. All right, so overall, as an energy embodying this reading, I'm picking up just skepticism, as you can see on the title. I feel like it's serious business, like a serious energy that you're sitting in. And so just make sure that the energy in the connection or the energy in the situation calls for seriousness, because skeptical energy is very, it could be very not fun and very detrimental to your openness to things. Like it's a good protective element to have, being skeptical, not totally believing everything that comes forward your way. Of course, that is wonderful to have discernment or judgments in that way. But if you are overprotective of your heart because of what has happened to you in the past, it makes it difficult for your newcomers who are trying to do you better, you know, your level up. These people who are trying to be this next level for you, you're making it hard for them. And of course, the later on in the game or in the level, the expectations are harder, or it's difficult, or could be more difficult to me. I presume that love should be an easy thing, like at least effortless when it comes to what you would like to do for another person. But when it comes to effortlessness, when it comes to your abilities, that can make things complicated when it comes to situations in love. And love can apply to your friends and family and romantic or sexual partners, you know. But just if you consider how complicated it may get if you don't have the, you know, maybe financial means, or if you don't have the time availability such that maybe you have to dedicate a lot of time at work. Maybe it's contracted that you spend so much time away from certain, you know, people, or however it applies, it's going to be different, right? But I think that there's just skeptical energies when it comes to this new situation that is going on for our people who are tuning in. This is a general channeled message, so I didn't really specify that this is about love or this is about career or this is about family. But however it's going to resonate, I feel like there's a lot of people who are just new. Like, a lot of things are new, a lot of things have changed. And so the skeptical energy is just because we just so recently went through such hard, trying times, some tough times, and the idea of it repeating is a really easy concept to move to. I mean, especially if you um, don't know a different energy. You know, if your environment has always been a toxic environment and you're moving into a healthier environment, um, you know, that type of worry um, is hard to let go of. Certain energies are hard to let go of. But just realize that you don't have to stay or be in the same space that you were in the same, in, you know, justice. If justice has been served, you know, if the balances have been scaled and you had made the choice to make a new beginning and made the choice to, you know, choose the things for you. And you know, if you're all past that and all the hard times are Spirit wants to say are starting to move behind you, and all this new energy, of course you're gonna be, it's healthy, it's normal to feel this way, it's normal to feel unsettled and insecure. It's normal, especially in a new situation. But just trust that with time, with rest, you know, rest on this skepticism, because like I was saying in the beginning of the reading, it is making your new part of your life hard to come in because you're out here not believing in it. I have the underneath the deck page of Pentacles in reverse, so that kind of really validates for me what I just said about like not believing, what's not believing in the new energy. And so that's what is making it hard for the continuation of the new situation to begin with, whatever situation it may be. Okay, so that was the cat tarot, just me going off of the tarot, and I'm gonna show you your oracle cards that came out for Melly Monday, the channeled message for Melly Monday. And we got Prosperity Begins, number 1. Heartache and Loss in reverse. Patience and Planning in reverse. Hope in reverse. Positive Movement Forward. Wisdom. Trapped in Fear. 8. Firm Foundation. 4. Okay, that's a lot, but they have meaning to me. I like to keep in the uprights and the reversals how they are, because I feel like just that my application of them, it differs, me reading them a certain way. And anyhow, let me just keep going with it. It says here, Prosperity Begins next to Heartache and Loss in reverse, and Patience and Planning in reverse, and Hope in reverse. The way I'm seeing it kind of like, you're not looking, you can't see because the camera angle, but here, the way I'm reading it is such that what I was just going off on when I was explaining that some of my audience is starting new things, you know, waiting for the stability and the insecurity to kind of cease, you know, have the stability begin and insecurity cease to exist, you know, at least at this current time. A lot of my following feel really insecure about their situations, especially the ones in the new situations. And so just trusting that it's only going to be up from here. If you've suffered a, you know, a large crash or a large heartbreak or loss or some sort of devastating situation or upsetting situation, disappointment, whatever it may have been, it's in your past. And there has been some patience and there has been patience. I feel like there's two ways for my audience here, is that there has been lots of patience to the point of becoming short fused with patience. Like you feel like the ice is getting thinner and thinner and thinner the more that you are required by spirit to be patient about what it is that you want. And the situation altogether, how I'm reading it, is that you lose hope the longer you wait on something, and because it's not something that you're seeing right away, you're paying. I hope it's still recording. That is some boops. But but the thing is do we, like, yes, we do tend to our plants or our bodies and ourselves daily needs, but are we actually watching like every single minute of every single day? You know, we do give, everything does require some sort of time, some sort of space, and if you lose hope in it in the meantime, that is very uh what's what am I trying to get at with the wording? It's concerning for the people who are trying to be involved with you, that you lose hope so quickly, or so in such a fickle manner, because of, due to just when something goes wrong, then you make everything else have to go wrong, and not necessarily compartmentalize or find ways to have positive move forward, right? Because right next to hope in reverse is 8, positive move forward. And so I think the importance here with spirit, if if the YouTube didn't glitch me out completely all the way or whatever, I think the very important message here is always having a positive, like trying to always move forward, even despite the circumstances, even despite, you know, like what it may look like or what it may be like. If you know, if there is something that you know, something that you want, something that needs to be figured out, that needs, you know, whatever is requiring your wisdom or your input or your whatever energy it's taking up from you or it's requiring of you, do not let your fears, okay, we have trapped in fear, don't let any fears block you from having hope. I think that's really the picture that's being drawn here with that deck, is the importance of not losing hope just because one or two things go bad, and then, you know, you have to make everything else go bad, go, you know, go to crap as well, because the bad energy or the bad situation just leaks everywhere. It's just like the one thing, the one event is all you talk about, it's all you do, it's all you say, it's all you can think about. And so the people around you, it's really concerning that, you know, it's concerning for them because maybe they're not being seen, maybe you feel like you're not being seen, and it's like, no, well, that thing happened to you, you know, so much time ago, like you're still stuck on that. Like, can you be happy, can you be here right now, instead of being upset about something that's not even happening anymore, that was already resolved? This is for some of our peoples who have trouble letting go of things. Okay, your firm foundation, your firm foundation lies within being present. It lies within having hope and uh being within your realm of understanding and wisdom, like knowing where you've come from, and why it is that you choose what you choose, right? Being clear on that. If you have that wisdom with yourself, I chose this because of this, because of my happiness, whether it's you choosing to leave somebody or you choosing to continue with somebody new, or a new job, whatever it applies as. Okay, the firm foundation is within yourself. Your firm foundation is within connecting and really applying your wisdom, not only in your situation, but with your situation when it comes to others, because others are concerned about you, especially if you're not in the present. And your firm foundation is being in the present, being with all of your connections, and saying what you need to say, and really appreciating like the the things that normally go without saying, like, especially if you live with if you live with some loved ones. Okay, I think your skepticism about your situation may either sprout from them, like you may have skeptical people in your life, and that infuses their skepticism towards your thoughts. You get infused with their energy, and it's hard to separate that, and you're like, no, 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 I'm not the one that thinks that. But it's hard to especially if you want to like impress your family or certain ones. You start to change your mind on things, but really make sure that it is your mind that is being made up, that you are making up your own mind on things and not letting others' opinions sway you too much or sway your direction too much. Being really solid in your connections is an amazing thing, but being present and being like, there's so many layered messages here that need to be addressed, where on one part, in one portion of my audience, or some portion of my audience, is dealing with people who carry a lot of skepticism, and it's hard to detach from that energy because of these parties that you involve around you. But or it's your own skepticism about a situation, because it is new, because you have gone through a hard time or a bad time. Some of us have had really, really bad times. Some of us have not experienced such a hard or bad time before and are about to. And everyone's on different tracks in their journey. And so just moving forward, okay, we have adjacent possibilities. 24, carrying connections. Number 14, attachment. Number 5, financial constraints. 13, yin and yang. 22, the garden and the gate. 30. Okay, earlier I was saying um love and certain situations get pretty complicated when it comes to like effortlessness. It definitely, intentions and desires, it's very easy to want. It's very easy to want things. You can want everything and anything, like literally, and it can change. Like 5 minutes you could want a PlayStation 4. In another few hours, you may change your mind and realize that you want a Nintendo Switch, or you wanted a Nintendo Switch and vice versa, you want maybe an Xbox. Whatever it may be, okay, your wants and desires are ever changing. And the way you love someone, or the way that you are in a situation, is always ever changing as well. And so if in the long run you are finding yourself to be in a place where you're handling your connections, you're handling your situation, you're handling your happiness, make sure that you're realizing that there's more options than just the one that you are specific with or have expectations like towards. Because when it comes to spirit and having hope and all these things, being really specific makes it too serious. Being very specific makes it really serious. And then when you become serious, it can very, very quickly become sort of a survival setting. over time, if you are then like survival at such as like it would be very hard for anybody to survive surrounding you because you wouldn't be happy unless it goes one way or a very specific way, or like it wouldn't matter the other efforts that were done because whatever you thought would be effortless is actually very too specific, like however you daydreamed or fantasize how it would be. It's like that is you're placing that on somebody else or on a situation. Like let the situation show you what it's going to be, or the person, let them show you what they're going to be like, and don't carry too much attachments to how or why. And it is going to be complicated, and if things don't work out right, because if you don't have the financial means or the time availability, or, someone's preferences doesn't line up with your preferences, or their availability versus preferences, whatever it is, just take that for what it is, right? And understand that if there is a complication, a situation that is meant to work out will work itself out. And if it won't work out, then there will be a balance where, and balance is like a polarity or duality effect where, a lot of us are in beginnings. And so beginnings will have an ending. Everything has the opposite ending. There's life to death, up to down, yin to yang, balance, just really, if you're, for those who have financial struggles right now, that's going to be ending. If you're not having financial struggle, will be prepared for some, so the downfall isn't so hard. Okay, we have garden in the gate 20, so just this very firm need to be open, more open to, I'm hearing freedom, like being more free and more hopeful that the energy that you wish for does come through. It does come through and it comes true, but it will be not as specific as you intended or want it to be. Now, you are not source or God or anything like that. As powerful as we are with our manifesting abilities, you may not realize what truly you are trying to manifest, and if you are being fair. And so source is being fair. So be mindful that your energy and someone else's energy is, it can be an exchange, it can be mutual, it can be a gift, it can be plenty of things. Okay, energy exchange can be quite interesting. And so ensure that your energy is yours and you are operating out of creating your own happiness. And when it comes to your situation, realize that skepticism is protective and preparing you for what it is that you're thinking or scared of. But if you have not seen that in the reality yet, then give it time, give it a chance, and realize that there are complications that and other things that you are not aware of. Like, you do not know everything. And so with certain things not working out, they're not working out for a reason that is probably really unnecessary for you to know, that it would be really, really, really upsetting for you to know. So wrapping your mind around it would just keep you upset and keep you like, you then spend the time, not only the time that you find out upset, but you spend all the time trying to find out, being upset because you had suspicions, or XYZ. Like, if you have suspicions, act on that already and then see what you need to see. If you don't see something good, then you made a good decision. If you see something bad, like if you see something bad, you made a decision in a way, like based off of, because I don't know if that came out oppositely or awkwardly, but you know what I mean about that is, if you're skeptical or if you have suspicions and you find out your suspicions to be true, then it's a good thing you acted off of that and didn't waste more time around it. And I wouldn't even call the time that you spend on things a waste. It would show you or teach you next time to spend less time on it, or that's how the situation would play out, or it would play out maybe similarly. That it's okay to actually dodge things that you know that you're not meant for, you know, or have some sort of idea of what to do, but be open to certain things changing, because with foundations, uh it's all building on one another. All the experiences build on one another to create one big idea of how you would like to be treated, maybe in your workspace or in your family space or in your friend space. And a learning curve, right? Because a new situation is a new situation. You definitely have to learn things in order to kind of have things flow easier or work out easier, when it comes to work. um being consistent within the first several months of working there, proving yourself. Then, when you need to make requests, they'll be more than happy to help you out with those requests, because they understand that you're a good employee and that you deserve it. But if they don't even know who you are, right, if you're a new employee, then they're not really going to feel inclined to give you so much time off. They're going to be like, well, you kind of seem like you don't want to work, like, so it's kind of like that. Or in a relationship setting, not understanding each other's schedules can really put a cramp in planning, because you don't know when they're free. You don't know when the next time you're going to hang out. Finding something that's stable. There's all sorts of situations here, but we have grief and we have worry in reverse. So there's been loss. All right, there's been loss. I'm going to read the lesson cards, okay? Grief says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And worry says, I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Okay? And that is very true about worrying, not changing an outcome. You can, and this is going to be maybe a sensitive experience or example, but what I'm trying to say is, like, if some of you are worrying about someone who is sick, right? Death is inevitable. I'm sorry about how harsh or how, the harsh truth that is, but death is inevitable. And worrying is causing you to feel ill when there is only, between you and the sick person, only the one person is sick, but your worrying is making you sick as well. And it's not nice for your sick person to see you sick as well. Um, just some mindfulness there. But that's not the only example that worrying applies to. Worrying applies to so many things. We worry about how we look. We worry about if we're on time to work. We worry about the fact that we said you too when when the cashier said enjoy your movie, and it's like they're not watching a movie, I am, and I just told them you too, and you're worrying about that. But that's like, that's all just all stuff that is in the past, something that you can't change, something that worrying just takes away from you. Like, the situation is going to happen the way it's going to happen, no matter how much you put energy of worrying towards it. I feel as though worry could be better used when you acknowledge it and then transmute it into what can I do for my immediate surroundings or for the situation to make it better or easier to deal with, or to help bring people together, whatever positive outcome there may be. But with grief, okay, some of us are dealing with grief, like literal loss of important members in our lives, or grief is not only to do with that, but just not only to do with death, but just literally something falling apart and needing to process your feelings about it, just processing your feelings over any sort of thing that didn't work out the way, that the way that you thought. Some things are unexpected. Death can be really unexpected. A breakup, a job falling, failing, like being fired or quitting, needing to quit, having reasons to do some sort of change, all of this, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to process the beginning and ending of something. It's okay to process your feelings on something. Having feelings towards stuff is not a bad thing. The what is bad is perhaps the way in which it has been handled. If you had been ignoring your feelings and taking your bad feelings as something to not acknowledge, that is what is bad, because you pull it up and then it explodes on you suddenly. Don't put a lid on things. Really process them. Don't be afraid of them. Really process them, so you can move forward, so you can find ways forward, so you can understand where exactly you are at, where exactly you are feeling, and what to do about those things. You can't really figure out what to do if you don't have this understanding with yourself. And in bad times, in trying times, okay, here's the next set of cards in the oracles. There is temptation. Okay, we have temptation, but reversed. Are you in denial about an unhealthy habit, perhaps one that makes you feel guilty? And this fairy says you have the power to overcome temptation, whatever its guise. So I feel like through this grieving time, or through even just hard times, falling towards temptations is something that a lot of our collective tends to do. Alcohol, weed, other substances, sexual temptations, even just flirting around on people, whatever the temptations are, gambling. Everyone has their own little things that they do when they're having a hard time that maybe is not a healthy habit, or it's a habit, and the only reason why it's unhealthy is because the effects of it is detrimental towards other things in your life. Because that doesn't mean, just because like alcohol does not necessarily have to have a bad context. All right, we do have people who have alcohol problems, like alcoholics, but the actual substance, alcohol or weed, and I'm not like condoning specifically, but it's all about your use with it. We don't have to always have a negative context or some sort of context to every word, right? Because love can have a very powerfully positive context for others, and a very powerfully negative context for some others. And so really just leaning towards your temptations, just be mindful of what you are tempted to do, and why, and what the reaction is from, or if you are even reacting to some like if you're even reacting to something in the first place, because I understand about myself, when I'm really sad, I tend to go on shopping sprees to make up for how sad I am, and it's very unhealthy. I agree about that. And so, if you are self aware in that, you can maybe put up forces to protect your destructive behavior, because your destructiveness, or that part of you, that's not going to just go away. It's going to be there because it's what helps you get through things. It helps you process things, or whatever it is, like it's your little pillow, your little like squish. And no shame in that, but just make sure that you're not like screwing yourself up, and ask for the help that you need in whatever situation it is. Ask your boss, or ask your partner, ask your kids for more help, whatever it is. Okay, life energy, because your energy is very valuable. It says the happy fairy of sunshine brings lots of life-giving energy. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadows that needs to be healed. So definitely, when it comes to asking for help, that feels like something that just across the board needs to be healed in a lot of us. I feel like this whole individuality, I can do it all. That's a beautiful energy of being independent. But we do need each other. We do need to come together for things, not be so in it alone, because your life energy and sharing that and having it, having enough of it, is very good and valuable, like to just really be fulfilled. And if you're just drained and drained and drained and drained and need help, my goodness, make sure that you're good, okay? Because we have hope again in reverse, nature signs and manifestation. So just, if you're not okay, okay, bring back ways to have more life energy, things that make you happy to wake up and not just be so dependent on these temptations that you have, that these things tempt you and make you think about happiness, but they, at the end of the day, are drawing a lot of energy from you. Okay, because they are not as long term sustainable for that energy you're looking for. You're looking for those connections that are like soul to soul, like an understanding, like you understand yourself and you understand the people around you, and the people around you understand you. And when you cannot understand each other, there is time and space to understand something new or different, and to come to a place of, all right, this is how I want to be handled. All right, this is how they want to be handled, or how they expect things to be and how I expect things to be. It's like the store. When you work at a store, they have a set of operating policies. They have actually like rules, a contract, an exchange of, this is what is expected of my employees, and this is what to expect as, like, if, since we are going to be your employer. And that applies to like your family and friends too. And as things change, or uh as things change, communicating that will be good, and really making sure that appreciation overall is delivered. And that if you don't have hope in your situation, really open your eye to nature for a little bit and look out for some signs. Okay, you may notice your favorite animals, or you may notice a very specific action, or a very specific, yeah, like you might find a very specific animal that in the wild, or a symbol in nature. Like maybe you'll see feathers or peace signs, like, or some sort of just any signs that might resonate with you. There's all sorts of signs everywhere. Numbers could be very significant, okay? There were eights that were repeating and fours. So just to give you a little bit of numbers there. And lastly, okay, we have Kuan Yin's Pink Dragon. It says here, brings firm love that resets your karmic balance. See all your cords dissolved by transcendent love. Enjoy your freedom. Look for the divine around you. So I was saying earlier about freedom and resetting. This card is about resetting your karmic balance. So I was saying that earlier about some of our friends and balance with bad things being replaced with good things, and good things, you know, just expect that maybe some bad things may be heading your way and being prepared for them. Because now I remember channeling a message a few weeks back, and it's like about not expecting bad things to happen all the time, because you are manifesting a bad situation by having that mindset. You should always have a positive mindset towards an outcome, but don't stick too closely with that. Don't be blinded by, like, don't be wearing rose-colored glasses, for one, but be positive through changes, not positive no matter what and accepting some shit. No, don't accept shit. Remove the shit. Remove, you know, like, don't accept a shitty job environment. Don't accept a shitty partner. You know, don't accept these things, but be positive that what you want will come, with or without the person, with or without the situation, you know, that it will be resolved, that tough things pass, and asking for help is easier to do than your mind makes it. And you will be surprised by how much the universe is willing to help, or how much the universe or the people around you, how much there is really there for you. Like, you may not have the same amount, carry the same amount of love as others do. And so that's where growing your own love can help you recognize how much of it is in others for you. Like, and you can really like have that be a test, you know, like, or a challenge. Like, I'm going to love myself more than everyone combined, or more than, like, my own, you know, more than like, however you want to take it. It's just a really beautiful energy to love yourself and love others, and see how much of it is shared, how much of it is, does, you know, just available. It's all good energy. And the skepticism, of course, I think overall that just means that you're taking this situation seriously, and really see if the situation deserves the seriousness at this time. And if it does not, lighten up and just enjoy it, and you'll see what you'll need to see when it's time. And then if you feel like the seriousness is well placed, then continue being skeptical, or don't. You know, if the skeptical energy is not fun for you, then don't continue being skeptical, and, like, lighten up, like, not yourself, but, like, you know, don't be so chill that you let things slide. And, you know, like, that's on you if you later on realize you should have let go sooner. And so I'm just saying, you know, maybe let go of the energy if it's, um just make sure that you're rightfully placing the energy of skepticism. If you have the skepticism and you need to let it go, like it's your energy and you deserve, like you see it being realized and true, like your suspicions are being realized and true, then stop being skeptical and try somewhere else new. If you are suspicious or skeptical and you're not really seeing it in your reality, maybe it's just a projection of how you felt before, or worries or fears of how you felt before, then lighten up and just enjoy yourself. Okay, really be present and really see the difference, that the person or the situation in front of you is not the same situation or person in front of you, and that if you've healed, you won't the situation won't repeat. Okay, if you've healed, if you can really tell the difference between where you've been and where you're now, then there is not too much of a worry, and you can kind of really just enjoy the moment instead. And I think that's the biggest goal in general, is truly, truly, truly enjoying our moments when we have them. But I don't want to dissuade anybody from their own judgments. If your suspicions are your suspicions, and this reading here is just to help channel out messages that might really draw in a lesson or something that will maybe transform a perspective or a mindset or a situation. Like, if you're just having a hard time in general, I hope that this channel message does something for my collective, as I really enjoy helping people, and I'm really thankful and blessed to be able to share my insights or things that I'm thinking and my intuitive thoughts, because sitting here and talking to myself, or like wrapping my brain around lessons, it's a trial, and I'm really just happy to share, because if it stays within me, then it's just difficult to have my own proper placement. So I think my placement is right here in front of you guys, channeling out your messages and really just figuring out how things apply for me and how things apply for you guys, and being there for each other. I'm really thankful to have so many friends that tune in and are glad to be here too, and glad to work their own things out too. And I got almost not much more to say. Let's see what happens if I have the deck. This energy here, okay, it's with carrying a lot of worry and being spirit. I wants to end on the Chariot, being more forward about lightheartedness and protection. And you will get that by telling someone what not to do, or what you would like for them to do, and testing that and seeing. And now, don't be so strict, just hopeful. And then if you see what you like, keep going. If you don't see what you like, go somewhere else. And that's with a person, that's with a career, that's with anything. Money problems. Are you going to have the same money problems today as you will a month or two from now? Some of us, yes. Some of us, no. Are you going to have the same money problems a year from now or 2 years from now? No, like, I can't remember the specific amount I owe in bills or debt a year ago from today. That is like, no, but what would be more important to me is stuff like, a year ago, I spent time with my friend who is out of the country, and she visited from Guam, okay, last year around this time, and I held on to that, and that is so much more meaningful than trying to remember or holding on to money problems. All right, and so just to put that into perspective, really just let go of some of these things that are really serious in your life but don't need to be that serious, and realize that yes, it is protective, but don't be too overprotective. Okay, don't be so guarded. It's all right, because you can heal. You can get better. Things things will be okay. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for being here for Melly Monday. And I will see you maybe again this week if I have another channeled message for this week. If not, then it will be next Monday. I am so happy to be so close to my birthday. My birthday is this Saturday, and the 11th. And as well, I'm really excited to be very close to the end of the year, because next year is going to be a big year for Magic with Melly. And all right, if you are looking for a personal reading, let me know. And if you're looking for more general readings, you are in the right place. Make sure that you are subscribed, and make sure to just be a part of all things in the future. I just look forward to just all the company and all the good times. And I'm out of here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to be posting the video soon. I'm getting the hang of doing these Melly Mondays, and there'll be more video content, and it's gonna be a good time here on YouTube. All right. I hope all this resonated. Let me know how it does in the comments. Let me know just in general how you are, how things go, and how we are connecting, okay? Tell me all of it. I'd like to know. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.